شبیر میں مضطر ہوگا جو نہ ذکر غم شبیر میں مضطر دل کہاں پہلو میں اس کے کوئی پتھر ہوگا رک گئے عاشق تو سینے میں سلگ جائے گا دل رک گئے عاشق تو سینے سلگ جائے گا دل آگ لگ جائے گی دامن اگر تر ہوگا جو نہ ذکر غم شبیر میں مضطر ہوگا کہہ دو معصوم سکینہ سے باہر نکلے کہہ دو معصوم سکینہ سے باہر نکلے عصر کا خنجر ہوگا جو نہ ذکر غم شبیر میں مضطر ہوگا جب کسی بچے کے رونے کی صدا سنتی تھی جب کسی بچے کے رونے کی صدا سنتی تھی ماں یہ کہتی اصغر ہوگا جو نہ ذکر غم شبیر
والے محمد صلوات اعوذ باللہ من الشیطان الرجیم بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم I begin in the name of Allah, the most beneficent and merciful. All praise belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for blessing us with existence and granting us the opportunity to move towards Him. Respected ulama, maulana, dear brothers and sisters, assalamu alaikum. Adam Allahu ujurana wa ujurakum bimusabina bil Hussein alayhi salam. وَجَعَلْنَا وَإِيَّاكُمْ مِنَ الطَّالِبِينَ بِصَارِهِ مَعَ وَلِيِّهِ الْإِمَامِ الْمَهْدِي مِنْ آلِ مُحَمَّدْ عَلَيْهِمُ السَّلَامِ صلی علی محمد Brothers and sisters, tonight we're holding the 5th Majlis of the series of 6 Majalis to commemorate the Chalam of our Mazloom Imam, Imam Hussein alayhi salam, along with his family and companions in Karbala. With this we continue the journey of sadness and grief and offer our pursa to Bibi Sayyida Fatima Salamullah alayha. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. To start the program tonight with the recitation of English poetry, I would like to request our young brother Chris Castillo by Muhammad Wale Muhammad Salawat.
Assalamu alaikum. Hussein has gone and his sister is so hard to bear. It will touch so many hearts of stone, but her suffering so few shall share. The daughter of Fatima is full of sorrow. In her path so many roads have been steered. She doesn't know what will happen tomorrow. She hasn't finished wiping her tears. This world has seen and witnessed such a bold woman, so courageous and without a speck of fear. She is so strong that she can't be broken, even by her loved ones' heads and the spears. Her parents are Fatima and Ali, none other, and to the Prophet Muhammad she is so dear. But this day she is without her brother, and no comfort seems to be near. There is no one to relieve them of their agony. The indifference of these Muslims is so severe. Nobody cares for the Prophet's progeny. For the victims, everyone should shed their tears. Don't know the people present understand. The noble family of the Prophet had no peers. Everyone's salvation is verily in their hands. Why are they being driven to the verge of tears? This lady is not afraid to lose her life. She speaks out against cruelty without fear. To spread her brother's message she strives, breaking everyone's heart with her silent tears. On the hurting, the innocent, the cruel are banned. But these wicked plots fail and she perseveres. She faces calamity with her spiritual strength. She is vanquished but holds back her tears. The tyrants wanted to crush the struggle, but it shall never end as long as our tears. Everyone is move on, we will Karbala is and will be remembered each year. In the stormy seas we've not yet set ashore. Many evil minds would want to stop our tears, but this morning will continue forevermore, with cries of Ya Hussein ringing in our ears. Thank you.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. MashaAllah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
I would just like to read the last piece of this poetry. I think it's a good piece in the end. Can I get a salawat, please? Oh Hussein, 14 years later your calamities we are recalling as every eye for you is weeping as your name on lips is echoing a revolution that is so inspiring humanity in each breath we are breathing to in your name living because here death life is mocking as your words are still in ears ringing. Death with dignity is better than a life so humiliating. So.
बारह दीगर सलावत सलाम के कुछ बंद हैं। चली है रस में सदाकत हुस्न के घर से चली है रस्म सदाकत हुस्न के घर से जहान पाए हुसैन के घर से चली है रस्म सदाकत हुसैन के घर से जो नाज है इस्लाम पर तो सुन बाज़ तुझे मिली है ये मौत हुसैन के घर से चली है रस्म सदाकत حسین کے گھر سے جمال ہی نہیں ہم نے کیوں لوگوں کی بدلتی دیکھی ہے حسین کے گھر سے چلی ہے رسم صداقت حسین کے گھر سے یزید تیرے اجداد نے بتایا تھا یزید تیرے اجداد نے بتایا تھا ابس خواہش حسین کے گھر سے چلی ہے رسم صداقت حسین کے گھر سے قوم ہے کے لیے جان تک لٹا دینا پڑی ہے یہ روایت حسین کے گھر سے چلی ہے رسم صداقت حسین کے گھر سے اور آخری شعر میں گھرا ہوں یزیدیوں میں عقیل میں گھرا ہوں یزیدیوں میں عقیل پر میں بھی رکھتا ہوں نسبت حسین کے گھر سے چلی ہے رسم صداقت حسین کے گھر سے چلی ہے رسم صداقت صلوات محمد علیہ فاتحہ صلوات محمد علیہ حسین بے کسو بے پر کا آج چہلم ہے حسین بے کسو بے پر کا آج چہلم ہے تمام فاطمہ کے گھر کا آج چہلم ہے سپاہ سبتے پیغمبر کا آج چہلم ہے، علی کے گھر میں 72 کا آج چہلم ہے، علی کے گھر میں 72 کا آج چہلم ہے، نہ فاطمہ پیغمبر ہے باغ رضوان میں، وہ قتلگاہ میں روتے ہیں اور یہ زندہ میں، وہ قتلگاہ میں روتے ہیں اور یہ زندہ میں، امام بے کسو بے آشنا کا چہلم ہے، شہید ظلم قتیل جفا کا چہلم ہے، علی و فاطمہ کے دلربا کا چہلم ہے، نبی کے گھر میں شہ کربلا کا چہلم ہے، نبی کے گھر میں شہ کربلا کا چہلم ہے، حرم میں غل ہے کہ عباس کے بوریا کے لیے ذرا سا پانی تو بھجوا دو فاتحہ کے لیے، ذرا سا پانی تو بھجوا دو فاتحہ کے لیے، شہید خنجروں تیروں سینہ کا چہلم ہے، غریب و بے کسو بے خانماں کا چہلم ہے، ذبیح اسر و امام زمان کا چہلم ہے، بہن تو قید ہے اور بھائی جان کا چہلم ہے، بہن تو قید ہے اور بھائی جان کا چہلم ہے، عجیب فکر میں بیٹی شہ حنین کی ہے، نہ فاتحہ کی اجازت نہ شور و شین کی ہے، نہ فاتحہ کی اجازت نہ شور و شین کی ہے، حسین بے کسو صلوات محمد و آل محمد۔
MashaAllah, Jazakallah, Jafar Bhai, for Jafar Bhai's Sehat and Salamati. Please recite a very loud salawat. Brothers and sisters, as we have been announcing about the Batul 11th annual blood drive, Jafar Bhai is actually taking a lead on this, and I was told we are still short of our goal. The registration is still open. The blood drive will take place on Friday, as we mentioned before, from 2 to 6 p.m. So if you qualify and if you would like to register, kindly stop by in the foyer and speak with Jafar Bhai or other volunteers. And this request is for all brothers and sisters. Jazakallah. Tonight's Majlis is being sponsored by the families of Brother Taj Sayyid and Sayyid Mukhtar Alam. For increase in their tawfiqat and acceptance of their hajat and all mu'mineen's hajat, please recite a loud salawat.
Allahumma salli ala
And let's please recite the Surah Fatiha for the Isara Sawab of these families marhumeen, especially for marhum Sayyid Jafar Ali, Takreem Jafar, Sayyid Jawar Hussain Zaidi, Sayyid Sardar Alam son of Akhtar Hassan Kazmi, marhuma Najis Begum, daughter of Sayyid Saeed Murtaza Abidi, and Dr. Munis Rizvi and Shah Jahan Begum, and for all marhum mu'mineen and mu'minat preceded by a loud salawat. I now request Hujjatul Islam Maulana Amir Mukhtar Faezi to the member by Muhammad Wale Muhammad Salawat.
فاتحہ بسم اللہ صلوات اعوذ باللہ من الشیطان الرجیم بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم الحمد للہ رب العالمین بارئ الخلائق اجمعین والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد واللعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم أجمعين أما بعد فقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم حسين مني وأنا من حسين صلوات
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Dear brothers and sisters in Iman, tonight we have the 5th Majlis of series of 6 Majalis, and this is the Majlis of Shab-e Chehlo. Very important Majlis, and before I begin presenting my thoughts in this particular majlis, I will request you to remember all those mu'mineen and mu'minat in our families and in our community that who are facing some health issues. They are mareez and they are requesting for du'a shifa, and you know we are remembering someone that whose khak is also khak-e-shifa. So in the name of our beloved Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wassalam, we beg Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give the full and speedy recovery and shifa to all of our mareez, brothers and sisters, and our family members and our community members and all those mu'mineen and mu'minat worldwide, wherever they are. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give them shifa and shifa-e kulli, shifa-e kamil and ajil, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep everyone in His protection during these very dangerous and difficult times. Recite aloud salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil. Brothers and sisters, as I had mentioned, that last two majalis I will dedicate to Husainiyat and to talk about the life and the contribution of Imam alayhi salatu wassalam. We will talk about his legacy, and we will also talk about our duties and our responsibilities toward the sacrifice and the legacy of Imam alayhi salatu wassalam. Please recite aloud salawat. As you know, we don't make any distinction or discrimination among our ai*imma. All of them are Nurun Wahid. All of them being Imam, Hujjat Khuda, the Hadi, the guide, the representative of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and being the successor of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. They are all alike, they are all the same. Their direction in their life, their mission in their life, and their commitment to Islam and to the legacy of Prophet was the same. Just as a respect and courtesy, and this is not our one, we have not invented it, it comes again from ai*imma themselves, that among these 12 Imams, only Amirul Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wassalam enjoys a special status and a special seniority over all ai*imma, being Abul ai*imma, being the father of all, and the first link to the Prophet and the imamat. So that is the only distinction, that he enjoys one fadilat over all the other 11 ai*imma. Other than that, all of them are the same, and all of them have done their best under the circumstances. All of them, they lived in different times, they lived in different conditions, and they were faced with different challenges. And whatever was possible at that time, they did it. And none of them showed any shortcoming. None of them have showed any shortcoming. so that we can point out that if this imam would do little better, or if he would act little differently, then the situation would be different. No, my brothers and sisters, that is not the case. And this is the view of Imami Shi'as, the Shi'as of Ahlul Bayt alayhimu salatu wassalam. And why I am saying that? Because we are living in this day and age where you will find some Western scholars, Orientalists, or some of our own scholars that who have studied with them in Western institutions, and they have earned their PhDs in Islamic studies, but under these non-Muslim scholars in non-Muslim institutions, and when they will talk, when they will write about our A'imma, you will feel and you will see that they don't have this view which we have as the people of house or people of this family. They will deal with each and every one differently, and they will feel and they will present it in a way that somebody was more knowledgeable than some others, someone had little bit more courage than other, somebody did little better than the other, and somebody was passive and somebody was active, and somebody was red and somebody was green, and somebody was by nature very peaceful and passive, and somebody was by nature very emotional and very active. That doesn't come from the family of Prophet, that doesn't come from Ahlul Bayt. That is not the right attitude, or that is not the right position. This is the position of outsiders. This is the view of those who don't believe in Ahlul Bayt, who never experienced this nur and this nuraniyat and the vilayat of Muhammadu ali Muhammad alayhimu salatu wassalam. So be careful and let your children and youth also know that never fall into those traps of Western scholarship. When it comes to, particularly why I am saying that, because when we talk about Imam Hussein, then all of a sudden they will bring the life of Imam Hassan, and they will try to draw some comparisons, and they will say, here is one brother and here is the other one, and while one made peace and one made treaty and one remained silent and the other one became vocal, and he took this position which finally brought him into the Karbala. So they will try to bring this contrast. And then sometime what they do, they will draw the this contrast from in the life of Imam Hussein and his own son, Imam Zainul Abidin, or the later A'imma of Imam Muhammad Baqir or Imam Ja'far Sadiq or those A'imma, and they will say that what happened. So one went to that level of giving the sacrifice, and one has gone to that level where the Karbala occurs, and then what happened after, why the later A'imma didn't continue the way of Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wassalam, and they didn't do what their grandfather Imam Hussein did. So they put this question in front of them. In order to understand that, my brothers and sisters, you need to understand that from the very beginning, from Imam Amirul Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wassalam, and the 11th Imam, none of them by choice, they have taken the sword in their hand. That we can say that Imam Hussein took the sword and Imam Hassan didn't take the sword in his hand. Or Imam Hassan took the sword, Imam Hussein took the sword, but the later Aimma, they became the people of pen and the book, but they didn't take the sword out. Imam, whether it was Imam Ali, whether it was Imam Hassan, whether it was Imam Hussein, whether these were the later Aimma, mainly what they did and what was their lifestyle, they felt that this community has taken a position and a direction. After the death of Prophet, this community, again, we don't want to get into now that discussion for variety of reasons, whether it was jahalat, because most of the Muslims were very new converts to Islam. This is something which most people don't know, that at the time of death of Prophet, if you go and see how many Muslims were there at that time in Medina or surrounding the Medina or even in Mecca, in that Jaziratul Arab, majority of Muslims were new converts to Islam. Majority of them had converted after Fateh Makkah, only 2 years before. They would make the majority of Muslims. When yadkhuluna fi dinillahi afwaja, when people entered in Islam kind of like in tribe by tribe, village by village. And this is how people, if you study the life of Prophet, the last year is called Amul Wufud. That is the name of that year. They call Am is in Arabic in the meaning of year. Am, like Amul Huzn, the year of sadness. Amul Wufud. Wufud is a plural of Wafd. Wafd, delegation. So the whole year, what happened? The delegation after delegation from all the tribes in Arabia kept visiting the Prophet and converting to Islam and pledging the allegiance to the Prophet. What had happened all of a sudden? That in that particular year, at their own, they are coming, delegation after delegation, and entering into Islam. This was the effect of Fateh Makkah, which had happened just the year before. So, majority of these people, they are new converts, and they have entered in Islam not by understanding the true nature of Islam. Otherwise they would enter in Islam previously. ये कोई नई वही उन पे नाज़िल नहीं हुई थी in that particular year. There was no new revelation for them, or they had not seen any new miracle. Islam had become the trend of the day. Islam had become the prevailing trend, and Islam had taken over in that area. And by the victory of Makkah, so finally they entered in Islam, and they were adjusting in this new faith, in new tradition, and they were very new, and their outlook is still tribal. Their outlook is still tribal, where young man doesn't have any value. All the value is with the white hairs. This is how the Arab culture was. This is how the tribes were. Every tribe has a Shaykh. The word Shaykh, it's not only invention of Islam. Shaykh means the elderly gentleman, the grown one, the senior one, that who was considered as the head of the tribe. Every qabila, every tribe had a Shaykh. And then all those elderly people were known as Mashayikh or Shuyukh. So the culture predominantly was not in the favor of a young man taking the role of leadership. Prophet himself had struggled for 23 years
in promoting the young people and putting the young people in leading positions. I will not get into again the details because those of you who are my regular listeners, you know what I am talking about. I have spoken about it in many times here and there, so I am just pointing out the Prophet, because Islam was a revolution. Many people don't think, they don't know that Islam was a revolution. It had changed the outlook of the society. It had changed the lifestyle, the mindset, and also the customs, the traditions, the culture, and everything. It was a revolution. And in that revolution, Prophet was now bringing the women to give them the role in the society, an active role and equal role. Women were abandoned and always kept behind and had no say in the society. Similarly, young people, youth, they had no say, they had no role. Prophet is encouraging women to get involved. And then in order to show that women have worth, and women are very important segment in the community, in the family and in the community, and you shouldn't feel ashamed for having a daughter. Actually, you should be proud to be a father of a daughter. Rasulullah is being a proud father of his daughter Fatima Zahra salamullah alayha. And taking pride in being a father of Fatima and having a daughter like Fatima. And then similarly children, that how Prophet was used to love them, how Prophet was used to engage them, how Prophet was used to hug them, kiss them, bring them even on the minbar, make them sit on his right and left or in his lap, put them on his shoulders and walk in the streets of Medina. This was something not very popular in those Shaykh of Kabila or Mashayikh of a Kabila. They were very proud people, and their tribe was only there to follow them and to obey them, but Shaykh didn't have that kind of emotional attachment with anyone in his tribe, even in his children. Once Prophet was very expressing his that affection and love to his grandchildren. पता नहीं आप लोगों को एहसास हो रहा है या नहीं, मगर मुझे हो रहा है कि आज हमारे इस सिस्टम को, वॉइस सिस्टम को, इसको साउंड सिस्टम में कोई गड़बड़ है. आज ये पहले वाला नहीं है. मैं बोल रहा हूँ ना, मैं हर रोज बोलता हूँ, तो इसमें आज थोड़ा सा कोई हाथ लगा है. चेक कर ले इसको कहीं जाके, जो भी इसको देखता चेक करता है. इट्स नॉट द सेम. रिसाइट सलवा. नहीं आ रही, इसमें ड्राईनेस है, इसमें आवाज जो है ना ये बहुत ड्राई जा रही है. और मैं अभी तो मैंने शुरू किया, अगर मैंने इतना चीखना शुरू किया तो मैं मसाज तक पहुंचूंगा ही नहीं. एक सलावत पढ़ें बाबा के. So when someone saw the Prophet hugging and kissing his grandchildren, he said, Ya Rasulallah, I have tens of them. You have only these two? I have tens of them. I never hug anyone, I never kiss anyone, I never hold anyone, I never bring anyone next to me. And from the time I am here, I am seeing you that these kids, they are distracting our attention. You are talking to us and they are all just running around and they are some coming, and then you pay attention to them and then you hug them, you kiss them, you put them in your lap. This is something that is new to us. And he expressed, he didn't feel a man of that caliber or that status should be kind of like expressing that kind of love or that kind of interaction with the children. And Prophet, instead of being apologetic, Prophet spoke back to him
And Prophet said that if God didn't put any love and mercy in your heart, and you don't feel any love or any affection for your children, so what should I do? Meaning I am rahmatun lil alameen. I am a perfect man. And a perfect man, what you call a balanced man, who is a balanced individual, and he is a healthy and normal, he expresses love for his children. He expresses love for those who are around him. He is a lively individual. And Prophet made the point that being leader doesn't mean that now you have to take distance from your children or from your family. Actually, you should be more family person. You should be more attached toward your family if you are in a leading position in your family or in your community or in your society. Similarly, when Prophet appointed some young people in certain positions, community didn't like that, and they expressed their dismay on that. When Prophet appointed some young people to be the Amir or to be the leader of that tribe or that city or that area, when people of Medina, they converted in Islam and they were going back, they asked, Ya Rasulullah, now we have become Muslim, we need someone to come and teach us Islam, and send a teacher with us. So Rasulullah didn't hire any senior citizen. That there were some senior people around the Prophet with white hairs and with the gray hairs, but Prophet picked a young man, Mus'ab bin Umair. He was in his very early 20s. And Prophet said, Umair, you go and be their leader in Medina for every young and old, and be their teacher. Prophet, when he conquered Makkah, he appointed a very young person to be the Amir of Makkah. And then the most famous story, as you know, is Osama bin Zayd bin Harisa. When Prophet made a army and asked them to go to fight, it was Jang-e-Tabuk. Prophet himself went. This was something which happened after the Sariya of Mota. You know that when Jafar ibn Tayyar and Abdullah bin Rawaha and Zayd bin Harisa, all of these people were murdered, and Muslim army came back without having any success, and after losing those three very prominent leaders like Jafar Tayyar, Rasulullah now made a army and asked them to go and retaliate, and he put Osama bin Zayd bin Harisa as the leader of that army, and he was barely at that time in his late teens, 18, 19, something like that. And who are supposed to go under him? Abu Bakr, Omar, and people of that age and that background. And who is the leader? A young man who is barely 19. They didn't like that. People, they said, Ya Rasulullah, we are people with white beard and white head here, and you are putting us under the leadership of a young man only 19 years old. And Rasulullah said, you had objected on the leadership of his father also at one point, and now you are objecting the leadership of this son. Basically, Prophet is setting the stage that later on your Imam and your Khalifa will be also going to be a young man, only 33, and I am putting you under the leadership of a man who is at least 19 years old, 19, 20, 21, 25. So the idea what I am trying to tell you, Islam was a change. Prophet was introducing the new standards, the new values, and it was a change. So this revolution was attracting people, but there were also many people that who were resisting this change, and finally they resisted, and they had numbers with the help of those new converts and their tribal mindset, that a man who is 33 and he is from the family of Prophet
He is not going to sit in the chair of Prophet, but we will have someone that who is Shaykh, who is the same age of the Prophet. And this is how Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib was deprived from the leadership. And actually the proper word or the proper expression is not that Amir al-Mu'mineen was deprived from the leadership. Actually it was the community which was deprived from the heavenly leadership of Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam. The community was loser. And my brothers and sisters, these sort of things do happen in families and communities even today. When we select people, when we elect people, when we make these kind of decisions in our families and in our neighborhoods or in our institutions, these injustices are even committed today. And the attitude of community remains the same which remained at that time. यार कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता, तुम सब्र कर जाओ. Yeah, this is not right, but your turn will also come. So for the unity of the community, for the sake of community, please you remain silent. You do sabr. आप तुम अच्छे हो यार, तुम बड़े हो, हाँ तुम जो है बड़े अच्छे बच्चे हो, और तुम जो है you are good because you are decent person. You know the decision was wrong. But you please don't stand up, don't take the stand. And so this attitude was there at that time, and you see the same attitude even exists today, and it has never changed after 1400 years. Recite a salawat. So what happened? There were external threats Islam was facing. And then internally you have naives, you have those backward thinking people, tribal mindset, the new converts. So many people were not able to make the distinction. There are so many people, to them things are very similar. आप उनके सामने ज़िबा होकर अपने आप को रख दें, वो फिर भी कहेंगे यार क्या फर्क है, ऐसा तो हम हर रोज ही खाते हैं. हाँ, क्या आपने कौन सा तीर मार दिया, ये तो हर जगह यही होता है, सब लोग ऐसे ही हैं. तो very few people are really details oriented, that who can see that every shining thing is not gold, and there is a original thing and there is a copy of things. So to distinguish the original and the copy, again, it is not everybody's job. Most of the people are friends of friends. Anybody who becomes their buddy, anybody who offers them deal, anybody who gives them smile, anybody who hugs them, anybody who gives them red carpet, what you call the welcome, they will say, but ठीक है, इनकी अपनी लड़ाई है, वह होती रहेगी, but at least he is good with me. He is good with me. So why should I have problem with him? Let them fight among themselves. So there were 1001 reasons that Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam, he faced. Amir al-Mu'mineen went door to door with Hazrat Fatima Zahra salamullah alayha. But majority of the people, as they say in elections, if you would have come first, then we would give you our allegiance. But we are sorry, you came late, and those gentlemen came first, and we have pledged. We have pledged. Now we cannot do anything. Now you wait. You are a young man, he is old man. So how long he will live? And you are young, so your chance will also come. So they are thinking that he is asking a chance for themselves. He is not begging it for himself. He knows that this change which people are unable to even notice, it is going to bring to a disaster. You know, only visionaries can see. When I speak on so many community issues, sometimes my own, those who are very close to me, they will feel that Maulana is being too tough. Maulana is very sensitive on certain issues. Why he is too rough on certain things or too tough on certain things, why he doesn't allow this, why he doesn't allow that, because they can't see that this innocent, this little thing which is happening today, that 2 years from today and 5 years from today and 10 years from today, what results it will bring in the community. Majority of the people, this is not their background. They don't have the ability to even look to those things. To them, things are all just fine and everything is fine. So, at that time also, most of the people, so what is the problem? If it's not Ali, it is Abu Bakr, it is Umar, it is Usman, it is this, it is that. So, what's the big deal? All of them are Quraysh, all of them are the same family. All of them are relatives of Prophet. They are all good people, mashallah. Everybody goes to the masjid. Everybody recites Quran. Everybody is mashallah good. But my brothers and sisters, Ali kept going door to door. And finally when he saw that Zameen Jumbad na Jumbad Gul Muhammad, and the community is not ready to respond, and community is not ready to take the principal stand. Now, what choice Ali has? Either to just go and keep quiet, don't continue this, or go and take Zulfiqar in his hand and come and challenge them with the sword. These are the only two options. And everybody knows taking the Zulfiqar in hand was at that time cutting not the community but actually Islam into the pieces. Islam couldn't afford that. Prophet has just died yesterday. And the enemies are waiting for the opportunity. There, Medina was full of munafiqeen. And there were so many munafiqeen in surrounding places also. So that was not the choice. Then the choice was Amr bil Ma'ruf, Nahi anil Munkar. Keep talking to people, keep advising people, keep inviting people, keep advising people and doing al-amr bil ma'ruf, an-nahi anil munkar, and also keeping the eye on the government and making sure that if they do something right, then let them do it and support it. You are not supporting the Khalifa, you are supporting actually the Muslim cause, Muslim community, Deen of Muhammad, the community of Muhammad. This is the difference between Ali and Awlad-e Ali and other oppositions of the governments. Other oppositions of government, when government does the right things, still they are going to oppose and they say, no, this is not right. When they do wrong things, then they are wrong. When they do right things, then they are wrong. But this is the way of Ali and Awlad-e Ali. If you do the right things, we are going to support you. We are going to stand with you. We are not going to create the fuss in community. We are not going to make you fail. No, we want to see community flourishing. We want to see community moving forward. And this is how Ali kept doing it, this is how Hassan kept doing it, and this is how Imam Hussein wanted also to keep doing it. And the later Aimma did. What happened differently, that was not from this side, that was not from the side of Ahlul Bayt. This had happened from the other side. Abu Bakr didn't force Ali to bay'at. Umar didn't force Ali to bay'at. Usman didn't force Ali to bay'at. Muawiyah didn't force to the bay'at, to that situation to bring them. But Yazid, he was a young man. He was drunk. He was not raised properly. And he was a man that who broke the line, who broke the policy of those who were sitting there before him. They came and they forced the war on Hussein ibn Ali. Hussein ibn Ali had not come to Makkah to fight, and Hussein ibn Ali had not come to Iraq also to fight. People of Iraq were inviting him to be our leader. We don't have any leader. We don't have any imam, we don't have any leader, so you come here and join us and be our leader. So it was a peaceful initiative. And Imam alayhi salatu wasalam answered their call. Even on the day of Ashur, Imam alayhi salatu wasalam spoke 3 times, gave khutbahs, and told them, don't rush to the war. I am not here for war. I am not here to fight. I have not brought anything to fight. Everybody knows if he was going to fight, then he would take these ladies and children with him. He would go with in these numbers to fight those thousands of people. So Imam Hussein didn't go to fight. Imam Hussein went to guide, to speak, to talk, to create the awareness, to have dialogue, to speak with them. But then when they were not able to have any talk, they didn't have any point, they didn't have any logic, they didn't have any case, when they felt they cannot debate with Hussein ibn Ali, they were the one who started the war. Of course, Imam Hussein had duty to defend himself, and his followers had duty to defend. So this war which we talk about on the day of Ashura, this was the defense of Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam, which he did for himself and for his companions. Imam alayhi salatu wasalam was not the one that who went for war, that now we should expect Imam Zainul Abidin should also go for war. Imam Muhammad Baqir should also go for war. Imam Jafar Sadiq should also go for war. No. Because from Ali until Imam Hussein or the later, that was never the policy. The policy was وَتَوَاسَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاسَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. Islam taught, this is a civic change, this is a civil dialogue. Prophet had reached to that position by preaching, by tabligh, by talking. Whenever they imposed the war on Prophet did difa. All those wars of Prophet were difa. If Prophet was defending himself whenever they would impose war on him, Islam is not for war. Islam doesn't establish itself by war. It is a dialogue, it is a da'wat, it is a propagation of word through peaceful means. This is how Islam was, this is how Imam Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam were. So Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam, when he saw the situation, he was being called even in the time of Muawiyah. But he was telling them, he knew, he was Imam, he had the eye of imamat, that if today we stand up against the Muawiyah, you know, he will use that defense of Sahabiyat. So far whatever has happened, everything is covered because of Sahabiyat. Imam Hassan Mujtaba knew that this is what is going to happen. Imam Hassan alayhi salatu wasalam made the treaty, and he knew that Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam will get a time when he will be able to come up in a situation when the other party is like Yazid. People can see, people don't see the things which are not very shiny and very bright. Fine. They cannot see the fine things. They can see the difference only when on one side it is Hussein and on the other side it is Yazid. But they cannot understand when it is Hassan and it is Muawiyah, or it is Hussein and it is Muawiyah. So this is how the psyche of people is. This is how people are weak. So Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam, his life, very briefly I want to bring this Majlis to conclusion, spent 6 years, 6 to 7 with his grandfather. And he saw what his grandfather was doing. He was, as we just discussed earlier, he was every time with his grandfather. He was not a kid that who was only playing in streets. And the grandfather was not a grandfather that I am going to office and now I will come back in the evening when everybody will sleep. So it was house and the masjid. They were all just attached one to another. And then Hussein was always coming in the masjid when Prophet was sitting there, when he was giving khutbah, when he was leading the prayer. You know the stories when Prophet is leading the prayer and Hussein comes and he sits on the back of Rasulullah during the prayer. This is a story which explains that Hussein was, meaning how frequently he was coming into the masjid. And Sunni and Shia, they narrate this story that Prophet prolonged the prayer and until Hussein came down. Now Prophet was waiting for a question and people said, Ya Rasulullah, we were wondering that maybe a revelation has come to you and you prolonged your khutbah, or there was something which we didn't notice, but we were wondering that what's going on? It's so long sajda. And Rasulullah tells them that Hussein had come. No Jibreel nahi aaya tha, Hussein aaye the. And Hussein came and sat down on my back, and I didn't want to bring Hussein down. I said when he will go down, then I will finish my sajda. Many people again may have thought again in their own jahili way, but Rasulullah knew that the same Hussein is going to save this namaz, this deen, my work, my mission, whatever I am doing. So Prophet knew, Prophet was investing his time, his resources, his effort, his love, his respect, everything in Hussein, because he knew that this young boy who is sitting today on my back, tomorrow he will do that sajda which no one else can do in the humanity. And Hussein paid off. So this is the wisdom of Rasul. For 7 years, and this is the closeness of Hussein with the Prophet. They say Prophet was sitting on member giving khutbah. He saw Hussein coming, and Hussein's foot just got stuck in his shirt. You know the Arabic kurtas, and Hussein had fallen down. Instead of asking someone to go and pick the child, Prophet quits his khutbah. And you know khutbah is normally khutbah Jummah. So comes down from the member, goes and picks the Hussein and then brings him and makes him sit next to him. That is the investment of Prophet in the life of his son. And this is an example also, my brothers and sisters. Even if we invest this kind of love and this kind of respect and this kind of attention in our children and in our own families, I assure you, my brothers and sisters, our children will pay it off. And they will do 100 times better and 100 times more than what normally they are going to do. But unfortunately, so many other things are more important for us. My job is more important for us. My TV show, this telephone call, this what I am doing is more important. While what Prophet was doing, that was much more important than all these nitty-gritty jobs which we are doing. None of us are doing something which is more important than what Prophet was used to do. But Prophet would not mind and leave what he was doing, and he would embrace these children. And not only his children, but his wives, his daughters, his sons, his grandsons. Because he knew ultimately the result will come from here. ultimately these are the people that who are going to carry my legacy. These are the people when everybody will leave, but these are the few people that who will be there for me and for what I am doing. That is a lesson which we always hear these stories, but hardly we learn the lesson. Recite a salawat. For 7 years, and he participated in so many tasks. He traveled with the Prophet. He went on different destinations with the Prophet, and one of his very special participation is in the Mubahala. فَقُلْ تَعَالَوْ نَدْعُ أَبْنَاءَنَا وَأَبْنَاءَكُمْ. Hussein is a party. Hassan is a party. They are going as Abna'ana with the Prophet. And they participated in that. So Imam Hussein's participation in the events of community and in the Islamic services started when he was just a very young child. Where Prophet, actually riwayat says, Hassan was walking, but Prophet was holding the Hussein on his arm. Hussein was not walking when he went to Mubahala. Prophet was holding him on his arm. This is how Hussein begins serving Islam, protecting Islam from the threat now which was faced at that day in the name of Mubahala. So now you can understand that someone that who started protecting Islam, the word of God, the Quran, the truth of Islam, when he was sitting on the arm of his grandfather. Now why not a 6 months old child Ali Asghar will come on the arm of Hussein ibn Ali, while this is the tradition of this family. वहां पे हुसैन नाना के बाजू पे बैठ के आए थे, यहाँ अली असगर अपने बाबा के बाजू पे बैठ के आते. This is the tradition. But Hussein had learned from grandfather. For 30 years, he was with his father. And again, the father is Babu Madinatil Ilm, the most generous man, the most courageous man, the most knowledgeable man, the most wise man, and again, whose life is all about Islam. Ali lived for Islam, Ali died for Islam. His life starts from Masjid al-Haram and finishes in the Masjid al-Kufa. So this is the life of Ali, and Hussein is now growing up as a young boy and as a young man next to Amirul Mu'mineen. He participated in all those activities which Amirul Mu'mineen had, including his wars, Jamal, Siffin, Nahrawan, and Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam participated in all those wars also, as he was with Imam alayhi salatu wasalam in peace times. After passing away and after the shahadat of Amirul Mu'mineen, now Imam alayhi salatu wasalam for 10 years he is with his older brother Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba. For 10 years he is there. No historian can point out that even for a minute Hussein went in a different direction than his older brother. When Hassan signed the treaty, Hussein was for it. People came later on. They tried to cause split between two brothers, as they tried to cause split between Hassan and the father Ali ibn Abi Talib. But Hassan al-Mujtaba, he said, no. He is my Imam. He is not only my father, but he is my Imam. And Hassan was very firm in support of his father. Now Hussein is also very firm in support of Imam Hassan. For 10 years, even when Imam alayhi salatu wasalam was martyred, Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba, after that, for 10 years, Imam Hussein respected the treaty which was signed by his brother Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba. For 10 years, people of Kufa were used to write letters, and remind him and tell him and offer him the help. But Imam alayhi salatu wasalam said, my Imam, not only my brother, my Imam, he had signed a treaty. And we have to respect it. And also he knew the situation. Although if he wanted to break it, he could break because the other party had never respected that treaty. But again, Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam knows the conditions, he knows the situation. But then, my brothers and sisters, for 20 years when Muawiyah ruled, and this is the point where I will conclude my majlis, he had abused people so much so that people had become totally, what you call, उसको क्या कहते हैं, बेहिस, एपैथी कहते हैं उसे, एक एम्पैथी होती है, एक एपैथी होती है, एपैथी, हाँ, they don't care, yeah. So people had become, just they had developed this sense of apathy, and they had become hopeless. Nothing can be done. This is what it is. And because he had killed so many people, he had assassinated so many people, he had bribed so many people, he had purchased so many people, he had played all those tricks in the name of deen, as it is right now happening in the Muslim Ummah. If you see, you look around in the Muslim Ummah, there is no hope. People, they are not happy, but they don't have any hope. They say, this is what it is. So, we cannot do anything. So, nobody is standing up. Nobody is doing what they are supposed to do. The biggest, what you call the accomplishment of Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam, and if you want to see that where Hussein showed his charisma, that when entire Medina, entire Makkah, entire Iraq, entire Syria, Egypt, the whole Ummah had become hopeless and was just submissive, Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam stands up. He stands up and he says that I am not going to do bay'at. I am not going to submit to this tyranny and to this tyrant ruler. And Imam alayhi salatu wasalam takes a stand. My brothers and sisters, what is the greatness of Ibrahim Khalilullah? If you read the Quran, that was that taking stand alone. His family, his neighborhood, his community, none of them were ready to stand. But Ibrahim stood up alone. And that makes him Khalilullah. That makes him Ummah in himself. And he becomes the father of all these religions like Judaism and Christianity and Islam. And today he is extremely revered. So Hussein, if you want to see the Hussein, and if you want to draw something like a parallel to Hussein, you see on one hand Ibrahim Khalil standing, and you see here Ibrahim in Karbala standing, Hussein ibn Ali alayhi salatu wasalam. When he left Medina, everybody told him, Hussein, don't leave Medina. When people came and shed tears, they came and they gave him qasams. They came and they did everything. Hussein, everybody is fine. We know it is difficult. We know it is hard. We know it is the time, but nothing can be done. There is total hopelessness. So please stay in Medina. This is the safe place. Imam alayhi salatu wasalam knows this is not the safe place. It took only 2 or 3 years, and you know Waqia Harra happened, and this Medina was not a safe place. Imam goes to Makkah. When he is leaving Makkah again, all these champions, all these leaders, all these community elders, they are coming, Hussein, please don't leave Makkah. Don't leave Makkah and remain here. This is Al-Baladul Amin. This is a safe place. And finally, what happens in Makkah? Abdullah bin Zubair, I don't know how many of you know, there were 2 people who had resisted from making the bay'at instead of in front of Yazid. One was Hussein ibn Ali and the other one was Abdullah bin Zubair. Zubair ka beta or Abu Bakr ka nawasa. He was the grandson of Abu Bakr. Hussein is grandson of Rasulullah and son of Ali. These two, out of all. But Hussein goes to Iraq and he says this place is not safe. Finally, what happens? We will talk about that, what happened with Imam Hussein. But do you know that it took 12 more years? In year 73, finally, the first attack was in the time of Yazid on Makkah. But this was not successful. Then Abdul Malik bin Marwan, when he comes in the government, he sends the army. Abdullah bin Zubair's generals, his friends, his people around him were all purchased and bought. They left him. Those who were remained with him, they were all killed in Masjidul Haram. The house of Allah was damaged. Masjidul Haram was damaged. Abdullah bin Zubair was killed in Masjidul Haram, and after killing him, they crucified him. उसको सलीब पे भी चढ़ाया, crucify भी किया उसको. And today you go and ask anyone, where is Abdullah bin Zubair buried? Where is the grave of Abdullah bin Zubair? Who were the people around him? What happened? Any detail? All that? Do you know anything? Well, that was happening in Makkah, which was a central location, a city. You understand? It is a city. And this is happening in a major city, and nobody knows two lines of that. And what was happening with Hussein in a desert? It's not a city. It is not an intersection. It is not any highway. There is no motorway. There is no one watching, no one seeing. And everyone knows each and every detail of Imam Hussein's shahadat. That explains Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if you fight for him, if you work for him, if you do this for you, he becomes on your side and he doesn't leave you alone.
Zindabad.
Husainiyat.
Zindabad.
Husainiyat. Yazidiyat.
Murdabad.
Yazidiyat. Yazidiyat.
That's Murdabad.
Nare Haydari.
Nobody knows where Abdullah bin Zubair is buried. What happened? How he got killed? Who killed him? And what happened with his family and where he was buried and how he was buried? No detail is available. You go and dig the whole Muslim history, you will not find one line on that. लेकिन ये खूने हुसैन है कि डेजर्ट को उसने शहर बना दिया. हुकूमत ये समझ रही थी कि हम इनको जब इस बियाबान में मार देंगे तो किसी को पता ही नहीं चलेगा. एक एक डिटेल वाक़या करबला की सुन्नी शिया मुस्लिम नॉन मुस्लिम रिसोर्सेज और सोर्सेज में मौजूद है पूरी डिटेल्स के साथ. और उस बियाबान के अंदर एक ऐसा शहर आबाद हो गया है कि जो मुअल्ला है या जन्नत मुअल्ला है और या करबला मुअल्ला है. दुनिया में हर शहर या शरीफ होता है या मुनव्वरा होता है या मुकर्रमा होता है. हर शहर का मक्का मुकर्रमा है, मदीना मुअज़्ज़मा या मदीना मुनव्वरा है. और कई शहर हैं जिन्हें शहर बगदाद शरीफ कहते हैं, फलान शरीफ कहते हैं. दुनिया में दो ही जगह हैं जिनका लक़ब मुअल्ला है, या जन्नत मुअल्ला है और या करबला मुअल्ला है. ये दो के अलावा कोई तीसरा शहर मुअल्ला नहीं. लेकिन अजीज़ान गिरामी, what I was trying to say, let me complete and then we shall have Masahib. Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wassalam, he taught that never become hopeless. As a Muslim, you got duty. You got duty. When things are going wrong, when there is a tyrant ruler, when the legacy of Prophet and the teachings of Islam are being tempered, when injustice is being done, when discrimination is being done, when people's rights are being violated, then it is your duty, it is your responsibility to speak out. That's all what Hussein did. Now it may bring that end which brought to Hussein that there will be bloodshed. But you are not there for bloodshed. You are simply just talking about it. You are creating the awareness. You are just talking about it. You are only reminding other people their duties and their responsibilities. You are only expressing your disapproval of what is happening and what is going on. That is the duty, that is the responsibility which Imam Hussein showed, and that, my brothers and sisters, had brought results. No one should think that Hussein's this sacrifice went in vain and it was lost. No, before this Karbala, Khalifatul Muslimin was the ultimate authority. Whatever he was doing, that was Islam. Whatever he was saying, that was Islam. Whatever he was telling, that was Islam. But after the shahadat of Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wassalam, then this status was taken back from Khalifatul Muslimin. No Khalifa after Karbala became the standard of practice of Islam. This thing went to the ulama, fuqaha, and all those people that who were now sitting and teaching and learning Islam. All these muftis, all these maulanas, all these darul ulums, they owe to Hussein ibn Ali. If it was not Hussein, if it was not Karbala, today no mufti would give us fatwa, no alim would guide us for anything. It would still be Khalifa, it would be still the governor, it will still be the president and the prime minister who would tell us how to pray, how to fast, how to do this, how to do that. And all corrupt people will be serving Islam and leading Islam. If ulama today have space, that is because of Hussein ibn Ali, and that is because of the sacrifice of Karbala. And these ulama need to know that instead of speaking for Yazid, instead of defending Yazid and bringing Hussein down, they need to understand their space is because of Hussein. Their being mufti and allama and maulana and darul ulum and all these positions what you are holding, it is because of Hussein ibn Ali, that he took away this whole department from these corrupt khulafa and from these corrupt governors and rulers. And then from that time, these two things became separate. The ilm and ulama, hadith, tafsir, Quran, they were now in a different, they started a new legacy. And ulama like Imam Abu Hanifa, Malik, Shafi'i, Ahmad bin Hanbal, and so many other ulama and Sufiya, they came and they started their journey in a different way. And the governors and the rulers, they were only there for Mali Ghanimat and for their wars and victories and all what they were doing. But what we take from here, my brothers and sisters, I am sorry that since we went so back in the history, we have not reached where I wanted to reach tonight. Inshallah, I will share with you tomorrow. But what we take from today's Majlis, my brothers and sisters, one point, and that is all of us, we got duty. We cannot say that Hussein finished it. Hussein finished for his day, for his time. And he set the example for all of us. Matter of fact, he says, وَفِيَّ لَكُمْ أُسْوَةٌ. You have uswa in my example. You have got duty. And you speak out. When you see something wrong, you need to stand. You need to remind. You need to talk. You need to speak out. You need to tell this is wrong. And that is a duty which for every Muslim they have. And if it was happening, my brothers and sisters, today the situation in the Muslim community and in the Muslim world would not be as today is. What is happening in Middle East? Do you think that this, what they call MBS and MBZ and all these people, they are less than Ibn Ziyad and they are less than Umar Asad? And do you think they are less than Yazid? Actually, they are doing even a bigger damage to the Muslim cause and the Muslim affairs. And all these kings and prime ministers ruling all those Muslim countries and Muslim world. So, but what is happening? People are just busy making money, buying real estate, enlarging their empire, business empire, and taking vacations and going east and west of the world and enjoying their life and feeling just by giving zakat or khums or little donation or doing hajj and umrah, so they are fine. This is the same thing what those people were doing. They would come across with Imam Hussein, and Imam Hussein was going to Iraq and they were going to Makkah. Imam Hussein was going to Iraq and they were going to Makkah. Where are you going? I am going for Hajj Yabna Rasulullah. And where is the son of Rasul? Where is the son of this house of Allah? Son of Safar and Marwa? Son of Makkah and Medina? Son of Hillo Haram? Where are you going? I am going to protect Islam. So many people, they felt it is convenient to just do Hajj and do Umrah and do Ziyarat. And at that time they were deceiving themselves. They will say, we will do both things. We will do Hajj and then we will come and join Hussein. You know, many times Shaitan comes and deceives. So nobody is asking here to take guns in your hand and go out and start shooting. Nobody is saying that you take law and order in your hand. Nobody. Islam is a deen of peace. But Islam tells you your job is that you must be aware what is happening where you are living. What is happening in your community or in your society and what is happening world at large. And you got duty. At least you discuss it. At least you talk about it. At least you disapprove it. At least you say something about it. You do something about it. And join those who are trying to bring any peace, or those who are making the things better, those who are taking the mission of correcting the society or correcting the world. Give them what you can do. Give them what you can give. There are always some people who are doing good and they are doing something praiseworthy. But that is something which we are missing. We think that the azadari and this zikr of Imam Hussein is only to wear the black for 2 months and these 10 days or 8 days come only do Hussein, 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 and then take the tabarruk, do the matam marsiya, go home and then say next year again Mawla we will visit you. This is not what Imam alayhi salatu wasalam is asking of us. This is not our duty. Meaning, I'm not saying that we should do this. No, this what we are doing, this is every family does for their, their father or their grandfather or their leader. This is the least what we are doing. But what we need to do as we do Majlis, as we do Matam, as we do Marsiya, as we do Azadari, in addition, Azadari should be our platform. This Majlis and Matam should be our launching pad and our platform from where we need to stand up and get united and create more awareness about the situation in the world, and then we should do what we can do. To just give you the example, my brothers and sisters, if you want to look at Imam Hussein, he brought every one of his family member from Medina to Makkah and from Makkah to Karbala. Everybody joined him. And then for those 8 days in Karbala, everybody is standing with him. Did you see any debate, any fuss, anything that Mawla, we should go back, father, uncle, we think that we should go back, and uncle is convincing them, no, you should stay here. Do you see that?
until the day of Ashura. Everyone is trying to take lead on one another. Let me go first, let me go first, let me go first. Do you think that this can happen if Imam Hussein was not used to talk about the community affairs and about their duty and responsibility all the time in his life with this group of people from the beginning when they were born and when they were being raised? Do you think that this all happened all of a sudden? I just put this challenge in front of you. If God forbid, if this kind of situation happens for me or for you, do you think that I will be able to bring all of my family willingly? That my wife, my sisters, my nephews, my own son, my own daughters will come and accompany me in this kind of difficult task with the same spirit, with the same obedience, with the same discipline, with the same love, with the same kind of emotions as they came to help Imam Hussein? I don't think even if my own son is going to join me. I don't think that even my own wife will join me, or my daughters will join me, or my sons-in-law will join me, or my nephews will join me. Why? Because I am not talking with them on ongoing basis about these issues. I am not raising them in that way. This is the result of this whole Majlis, my brothers and sisters. We are always saying we are waiting for 12th Imam. 12th Imam can come any day, but then what is going to happen? Are we raising our family and our community in that way that when Imam will come, we will leave the business, we will leave the job, we will leave everything and we will all jump and go and join him? It doesn't happen like that. We underestimate Imam Hussein's this accomplishment. My brothers and sisters, when Isa Nabi came to the test, he was not able to bring that many people with him. When Musa Nabi came, he was not able to bring that many people with him. Imam Hussein takes the credit. Imam Hussein's none of Anbiya had this group of people and this kind of people with them as I have here in Shabe Ashur sitting with me. Imam is talking about the quality of those people who were with him. Ali Akbar according to most common things which we talk 18 years. But Ali Akbar was a married man. He had wife, he had son. But we think that because for Masahib it is more suitable to call him 18 years old. But the point is, whether it is Ali Akbar, he is a mature man. And then Abul Fazl al-Abbas has brothers. All of Muhammad were not babies, they were not children. Don't think the 56 years old woman will have the 4 years or 5 years or 6 year old children. Zainab is 56. If a mother is 56, then see the Awla Muhammad were youth. In their teens. And these people in that age, they have their own mind, they have their own ability to decide. They don't just go because uncle is asking. They don't go because father is asking. They don't go because mother is asking. Hussein was able to bring all these people from Medina to Makkah, from Makkah to Karbala, and then even after the shahadat of Imam Hussein, they never felt that they lost. They never felt that they got defeated. They never felt that it is wrong. They took the pride in it. They were never broke. Ibn Ziyad, Yazid, they dragged them in the streets in Kufa and Sham to break them down, and every time they jumped up and they bounced back. And they said, no, we are what we did, we are proud for this. This was our duty, this was our responsibility. It is raising your children, raising your family, raising your community at that level, which comes that every day when we talk about the affairs of community and the world on ongoing basis. And when we give them consistent message, that is the take-home message of this Majlis, my brothers and sisters. We need to be practical Hussainis. We need to be practical Azadars and the lovers of Imam alayhi salatu wasalam. That we know what's going on, what is right, what is wrong.
and what is our duty and what is our responsibility. What is our duty and responsibility? By being the follower of Imam Hussein. Now, if you want to see that, it is the court of Yazid. Zainab has given her khutbah. Zainab has spoken about it. And now, when Zainab became very emotional at the end of the khutbah, she expressed herself very eloquently. But at the same time, she is a woman, she is a mother, she is a sister. And she is standing there as a captive in the court of Yazid. At that time, Imam Sajjad comes forward. Imam Sajjad says, my aunt, no, you hold on, let me speak to them. Your Imam who is बीमार, Imam जो बीमार भी है, जो कैदी भी है, हाथ में हथकड़ियाँ हैं, पैर में बेड़ी है, गले में तौक है, और ये सारा मंजर है, और अपनी मुखद्दरात इस्मत व तहारत वहाँ पर दरबार में खड़ी है. इस आलम में कौन खुतबा दे सकता है? हम जो प्रोफेशनल स्पीकर्स हैं, अगर हमें भी हमारा इमामा छीन लिया जाए, हमारी अबा कबा हमसे छीन ली जाए, हमें हथकड़ियाँ पहना दी जाएं, कहीं खड़े होकर तकरीर करनी पड़े, हम तकरीर नहीं कर सकेंगे. आपने देखा भी थोड़ी देर इसका आवाज ऊपर नीचे था माइक्रोफोन का, तो हम तकरीर नहीं कर पा रहे थे. मगर ये है इमामत और ये है अजमत सैयद सज्जाद कि गले में तौक भी पहना हुआ है, हथकड़ियां भी पहनी हुई हैं, हाथों में बेड़ियां भी पहनी हुई हैं, सामने बाबा का सर है, यतीम बच्चियां हैं, सकीना का दामन जला हुआ है, कान फटे हुए हैं, और क्या खियाटक मंजर है दरबार के अंदर. और हुसैन का ये बेटा खड़ा हो जाता है कि अम्मा आप हटिए, मुझे बात करने दीजिए. और फिर जब इमाम ने कहा ना कि मुझे बात करने दे, इमाम ने कब कहा? जब यजीद ने अपने खतीब को बैठाया था मेंबर पे, और उसने बैठ के बड़ी उल्टी सीधी तकरीर की. उसने फजाइल पढ़े थे यजीद के और उसके बाप दादा के, और उसने इमाम हुसैन और उनके बाप दादा की बुराई की थी. जब वो सब कर चुका था तो इमाम सज्जाद ने कहा कि यजीद, क्या मुझे इजाज़त है कि इन लकड़ियों पे बैठ के दो चार जुमले मैं भी कह लूँ? इमाम ने उसको मेंबर नहीं कहा था कि ऐसा मेंबर कहलाने का हकदार नहीं है. कहा इन लकड़ियों के तख्तों पे बैठ के दो चार बातें मैं भी कर सकता हूं. तो यजीद हिचकिचा रहा था, लेकिन लोगों को चूंकि पता था कि ये हिजाज वाले हैं, हिजाज वालों की अरबी, हिजाज वालों का लहजा, हिजाज वालों के औसाफ अपनी जगह पर हैं, लिहाजा लोगों में एक इश्तियाक था. लोग चाहते थे कि ये जवान बोले और हम सुने. लोगों ने कहा कि यजीद इसको बोलने दीजिए, इनको बोलने दीजिए. तो यजीद ने कहा नहीं, ये मुझे रुसवा कर देंगे. उन्होंने कहा इनके हाथ में बेड़ियां हैं, इनके पैरों में हथकड़ी, इनके हाथों में हथकड़ियां, पैरों में बेड़ियां, गले में तौक, इस हालत में ये तुम्हें क्या रुसवा करेंगे? इजाजत दे दी जाए. जब सब ने कहा ना तो मौला को इजाजत मिल गई. मौला मिंबर पे बैठे, कहा जो मुझे जानता है वो जानता है, जो पहचानता है वो पहचानता है, और जो नहीं पहचानता ना वो मुझे पहचान ले. मैं कौन हूं? मैं मक्का का बेटा हूं, मैं मदीना का बेटा हूँ, मैं हिल्लो हरम का बेटा हूँ, मैं सफा और मरवा का बेटा हूँ, मैं जमजम का बेटा हूँ, मैं मिना का बेटा हूँ, मैं अरफात का बेटा हूँ. और फिर शुरू किया, मैं खदीजतुल कुबरा का नवासा हूँ, मैं मोहम्मद मुस्तफ़ा का नवासा हूँ, मैं अली मुर्तज़ा का पोता हूँ, मैं हुसैन का बेटा हूँ, उस बाप का बेटा हूँ कि जिसको पसे पुष्ट से, पसे गर्दन से ज़िबा किया गया, जिसको प्यासा शहीद कर दिया गया, पानी के किनारे उसको प्यासा शहीद कर दिया गया. जब मौला ने ये दर्दनाक मसाइब पढ़े ना, तो एक मर्तबा लोगों में अजीब कैफियत पैदा हो गई कि हैं क्या, इतना जुल्म हुआ है इनके साथ, और ये तो अपने आप को रसूल की औलाद कह रहा है, ये तो अपने आप को रसूल के अहले बैत कह रहा है. वो तो यजीद को अहले बैत समझते थे, अब उनको नजर आया कि रसूल के अहले बैत कौन है, दीन के वारिस कौन है. जब मौला ने ये बयान किया ना, तो फौरन यजीद ने इमाम को चुप कराने के लिए मुअज्जिन से कहा, मुअज्जिन तू खड़ा हो जा, तू आज़ान दे, आज़ान कहे. मुअज्जिन खड़ा हुआ, उसने आज़ान शुरू कर दी. जैसे ही उसने कहा ना अल्लाहु अकबर, मौला खामोश हो गए. कहते हाँ, वहदहू ला शरीक,
میں شہادت دیتا ہوں وہ وحدہ لا شریک ہے، جل جلالہ ہے. اس نے یہ جب کہا نا اشہد ان لا الہ الا اللہ، مولا نے اس کی ساتھ میں حکایت کی، اللہ اکبر میں ساتھ حکایت کی. جیسے ہی مؤذن پہنچانا اشہد ان محمد رسول اللہ کے اوپر، اور اس نے نام لیا رسول اللہ کا اور کہا اشہد ان محمد رسول اللہ، یہ سننا تھا. مولا نے اس مؤذن کو قسم دی، کہا میں تمہیں اسی محمد کی قسم دیتا ہوں جس کا تو نے نام لیا ہے، یہی رک جا تھوڑی دیر کے لیے، یہی رک جا. اس کو روک کے مولا نے یزید کی طرف منہ کیا اور کہا مجھے یزید یہ بتا، یہ جس محمد کا نام ابھی آذان میں لیا گیا ہے یہ تمہارا نانا ہے یا یہ ہمارا نانا ہے؟ اگر تو کہے تیرا نانا ہے تو جھوٹ بولتا ہے، اور اگر یہ ہمارا نانا ہے تو بتا کیا انصاف ہے کہ ہمارے نانا کا نام کلمہ اور آذان میں لو اور ہمارے ان کی اولاد کو اور ان کی بیٹیوں کو اس طرح سے قید کر کے لاؤ اور یوں کھڑا کرو اپنے سامنے. ماتم حسین
Hussein, Ya 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 Hussein, Ya
ہے زائرین تمہارا نصیب جاگ اٹھا، تمہیں حسین نے بلوا لیا ہے کربلا. در حسین پہ جس وقت تم کرو سجدہ، تم اپنی خاص دعاؤں میں بھول نہ جانا. تڑپ رہا ہے وطن میں غلام کہہ دینا، تڑپ رہا ہے وطن میں غلام کہہ دینا. میرے حسین کو میرا سلام کہہ دینا. تڑپ رہا ہے وطن میں غلام کہہ دینا. میرے حسین کو میرا سلام کہہ دینا. تڑپ رہا ہے وطن میں غلام کہہ دینا. میرے حسین کو میرا سلام کہہ دینا. بتانا اپنے وطن میں تڑپ رہا ہے کوئی، لبوں پہ کرب و بلا آنکھ آنسوؤں سے بھری، وہ کیسے آئے گا مشکل میں زندگی ہے گھری. فقط ہو آخری امید آپ ہی اس کی، جو حال دل کا ہے میرے تمام کہہ دینا. میرے حسین کو میرا سلام کہہ دینا. تڑپ رہا ہے وطن میں وہ نام کہہ دینا. میرے حسین سلام. یہ پورا پوری زندگی کچھ اس طرح گزرتی ہے، انہی کے ذکر میں ہر رات میری کٹتی ہے، ہر ایک صبح اسی یاد میں ہی ہوتی ہے، ہر ایک شام لبوں پر دعا یہ رہتی ہے، ہو کربلا میں کوئی ایک شام کہہ دینا، میرے حسین کو میرا سلام کہہ دینا، تڑپ رہا ہے وطن میں غلام کہہ دینا، میرے حسین کو میرا دینا، نہ حاجتیں نہ عریضہ ہے کوئی میں نے لکھا، سپرد کرتا نہیں ہوں تمہارے کوئی دعا، تمنا بس ہے زیارت کی یہ بتا دینا، اگر نہ یاد رہے کچھ بھی ظاہر مولا تو چالی تھام کے بس میرا نام کہہ دینا، میرے حسین کو میرا سلام تڑپ رہا ہے وطن میں غلام کہہ دینا، میرے یہ ان سے پوچھنا آخر یہ زندگی کیوں ہے، بدن میں سانس ہمارے یہ چل رہی کیوں ہے، ہماری آنکھوں میں آخر یہ روشنی کیوں ہے، اگر نہ کوئی بنا دیکھوں تو آنکھ ہی کیوں ہے، خدا را یاد سے یہ سب کلام کہہ دینا، میرے حسین کو میرا سلام کہہ دینا، تڑپ رہا ہے وطن میں غلام کہہ دینا، میرے حسین کسی سبب سے جو کر وہ بلا نہ جا پایا، یہی ہے جاذب و سلمان اس کے دل کی دعا، جو زندگی میں بلاوا نہ آ سکا میرا، تو میری قبر سے والے مجھ کو اے مولا، کچھ ایسا کر دے میرا انتظام کہہ دینا، میرے حسین کو میرا سلام تڑپ رہا ہے وطن میں غلام کہہ دینا، میرے حسین کو میرا سلام کہہ دینا، السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. السلام عليك مولاي يا أبا عبد الله الحسين. السلام عليك وعلى جدك وأبيك. السلام عليك وعلى أمك وأخيك. السلام عليك وعلى جميع أعوانك وأنصارك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك مولاي يا أبا الحسن علي بن موسى الرضا. كن شفيعنا وشفيع والدينا في يوم الجزاء. السلام عليك وعلى آبائك السبعة وعلى أبنائك الأربعة. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك مولاي يا صاحب العصر والزمان. السلام عليك يا خليفة الرحمن. السلام عليك يا إمام الإنس والجان. عجل الله تعالى فرجك وسهل الله مخرجك وظهورك وجعلنا من أعوانك وأنصارك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Brothers and sisters, if I can have your attention just for 1 second. Kindly, tomorrow is the deadline for the registration of blood drive on Friday. So if you are intending to donate blood, kindly stop by in the foyer area with our volunteers and register. We are still short of the goal of by about 10 to 12 people. So if you're intending, please stop by and register. Jazakallah.